Hello everyone. Hi, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having an amazing day. I am so excited to jump on here and talk about this topic because it has really been on my mind lately. I'm feeling super fired up about it, and I am just really excited to talk to you about it because I think it's something that, one, can really create results for you, and two, that most entrepreneurs are not doing, which is treating your business like a business. Now, I hear that from the initial sound of that, it's really easy to think, well, of course I'm treating my business like a business. That's why I'm in this group. That's why I'm listening to this live stream. That's why I'm doing all the things I'm doing. But hear me out, because I think most people are not actually treating their business like a real business. So the first thing related to treating your business like a business is, are you being consistent? Like, if you follow me, if you know me, if you've ever heard me talk, you know that I will say that consistency is the number one thing that will change everything in your business. Hey, Lorraine, thank you for joining me. So when I say, are you treating your business like a business? What I mean is, like, are you showing up consistently like you would at a 9 to 5, right? Like when you had work hours from 9 to 5 and you had to be there, did you show up? Did you leave early all the time? Did you stop when you felt tired? Did you jump on Netflix in the middle of the day, right? No, like, you treated your business or your 9 to 5 like a business, right? Like, you weren't calling out sick every time you didn't feel like it. Sure, you had sick days, but you showed up consistently, and that's what mattered, right? You were there, you were present, you were involved. And I would say 80% of entrepreneurs are not nearly as involved or invested in their businesses as they would be at a 9 to 5. Now, here's the thing. I know that most people that are hearing that are thinking like, well, yeah, that's the whole point. That's why I left my 9 to 5, right? Because I didn't want to be at a desk from 9 to 5, because I wanted to be able to stop when I wanted and all of that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. You get to buy that freedom, right? So yes, that is why you left your job in large part, and that will come, but it won't come if you never treat your business like a business and show up that consistently at the beginning. The other thing I'll say to that is, there's a piece of what's more important to you, right? Is it way more important to you that you don't have to, show up consistently, that you don't have to work the 9 to 5, that you don't have to be at a desk frequently? Or is it way more important to you that you're growing your audience, getting your message out there, impacting lives, making a difference, and making money? Like, which thing matters more? If it's the, I just need all the freedom all the time thing, then you might want to adjust, right? Like, what your goals are. Like, all the freedom all the time and 200K out of the gate in my first or second year in business, like, sometimes they just don't match, right? And nobody wants to hear that. I get that, but it's also true. And it's also something where you can decide that that doesn't mean it has to look like that forever, but it might look like that right now. So when I'm in the building phase of my business, am I available to have to be really consistent? Am I available to make my priorities really clear, that, sharing my message is more important than getting to watch Netflix in the middle of the day or whatever that is? Hey, Lindsay, thank you for joining me. I know you're going to love this topic. So really thinking about, are you treating your business like a business, in the sense of, like, are you showing up? Are you committed while you're there? Are you all in, right? One of my favorite quotes on this topic is, build your dreams or someone else will hire you to build theirs. It's a good one, right? Build your dreams or someone else will hire you to build theirs, right? And so here's the thing. If, right, you want to build your dreams and that is your number one goal, not to be hired to build someone else's, work as hard at your dreams as you would at someone else's, right? Show up for that in the way that you would if you were at a 9 to 5. Lindsay, I know it's just for me. Yes, this is totally for you. Jessica, yep, and neither is right or better. Exactly. Like, it's not bad if you crave the freedom more, but also then don't kick yourself every single day going, why am I not hitting a 20K month, right? It's just about having those clear priorities in order, right? Marie, so true. All the freedom and 200K out of the gate don't both come all at once. It's a question of priorities, phases, and sticking with it. Exactly. Because, here's the thing. If you could just leave your 9 to 5 and do whatever you wanted all the time and make 200K, nobody would have a 9 to 5, like for real, right? And again, like it's not bad no matter what you pick, but if what you want and what most high performers in this community want, right, is the result, is the income, is the impact, then you got to show up for that, right? So that brings me to my next point, which is that if you're treating your business like a business, income and impact have to be equal. Income and impact have to be equal in your business. Now, what I mean by that is that a lot of times when we are, service-based, we want to serve. Like we want to be all about serving, right? And that's where so much of this crap comes in around how selling is negative and I just want to help people and I just want to serve, right? But that is not a business. That is a hobby, right? You get to serve in your business by keeping your business alive, right? So I would say that not only should impact and income be equal, but income might even be a little more important when you start your business, because the only way you're going to get to serve is if you're resourced enough to show up and continue to serve, right? So if you're treating your business like a business, you're not going to feel bad for wanting the income, right? You're not going to feel bad for selling. You're not going to feel bad for showing up and doing those things, right? Because at the end of the day, you recognize that income is what makes you resourced enough to create impact, right? Yes, in November, I decided that I would have to be dressed and ready by 9 and have been so much more productive. I love that, Claire. That's so awesome. Yeah, and it's just like little changes like that, right? It's not like give up your whole life, never have a hobby, never see your family, but treat your business like a business, right? If I had a 9 to 5, I'm going to show up at 9 o'clock dressed and ready to roll, right? Just very small things like that can make such a difference. So when we're talking about impact and income, same. Like I'm not saying go be all about the income, sell 24/7 and never serve. If you guys know me, you know that's not how I run my business model. And I see too many coaches that do that, right? Like they're so concerned about the sale and they're really not concerned about the clients on the back end. Their main priority is to get the sale all day, every day. And I don't think that's how we need to operate, right? Get the sale and then make the impact. We get to be equal, right? But if you're treating your business like a business, you are absolutely concerned with the income because that is what will keep your business alive, right? Like I know I don't have the luxury to just serve for free all day. If I won the lottery tomorrow, that's what I would do, right? But it's just not my life right now. And I know that it's not most of yours, right? So if you want this to be a business, you have to make income matter as much as impact, right? And then vice versa. If you want this to be a sustainable business, impact also has to matter as much as income, because if you are just selling, and you're never making the impact on the back end, people are going to stop buying from you. So if you're keeping those equal in your business, you are treating your business like a business, right? The other thing around treating your business like a business, Laureen says it really does make a difference, definitely, is creating boundaries. So this is one of the things that I see happen with entrepreneurs that are like all about being service-based, right? Is that they stop having boundaries in their business because they don't see it as a business, right? They see their business as them, and so they're just going to show up and do everything anyone asks of them, and that is not a business, right? I can't go through McDonald's tomorrow and say, by the way, like, I know I only paid for a coffee and an Egg McMuffin, but I would love one of everything on the menu. Can you guys do that for me? They're gonna be like, no, we're running a business. It doesn't work like that. They cost this much, right? We have to start treating our businesses in a similar way, right? Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that. My dog is like, stop. She basically has the cat in her mouth. We have to start treating our business like a business with boundaries. So that might mean with clients, that might mean with time, that might mean with work hours, whatever that is, right? So for example, with clients, Do you have a client that is always pushing that boundary, right? Like you might have a program and it's like you get this many calls a month, you have this much access to me, and they're always pushing that boundary. Well, if you're going to treat your business like a business, and if you're going to grow your business, you have to set that boundary, right? Because maybe at a certain point in your business, you have time for them to keep pushing your boundary, but you're going to stop yourself from getting another client because you don't have time to accommodate that and build, right? Or you're going to let people push your boundaries all day, and then magically none of the things you needed to do to move your business forward got done, right? Maybe you didn't market that day. Maybe you didn't otherwise sell because you were dealing with all of these other things that were pushing your boundaries, right? It's so hard to do as a heart-centered entrepreneur, but those boundaries help your clients grow. Absolutely. It is not just for your best interest, it is in their best interest always, right? If you have designed a program that you know works, that you know accommodates your client, all of those things, and someone is pushing that boundary, they simply don't have the trust in themselves that they can take that and apply that, right? So it goes both ways, income and impact. How am I going to grow my income? By sticking to my boundaries. How am I going to grow my impact? By also sticking to my boundaries, right? So with clients, with time, this is another thing. I personally don't have really strict work hours, right? But I definitely know around how much I want to work each day, right? So say I probably work 7 hours a day, 4 days a week, and then the other 3 are kind of whatever, right? So yesterday I worked for about 3 hours in the morning and I did stuff all day, but when I came back, I knew, okay, I've got about 4 hours of work to put in, right? So it's not like I have to sit there from 9 to 5, but I also have to show up for my business because it is a business, right? So that means that last night I sat down and did a bunch of work, and that felt great, right? Because I designed my day how I wanted it to. I did the things when I wanted to. There is freedom in that. And also, it's a business. So for me to just decide I wasn't going to show up yesterday, maybe not answer my clients, maybe not show up in my group, maybe not show up for the commitments that I had to be a guest expert in someone else's group, that doesn't allow me to treat my business like a business. Now, for you, it might mean that you do have structured work hours, and that when your best friend calls in the middle of the day and is like, hey, do you want to go shopping and get lunch and go to the movies? You're like, no, I'm working. These are my work hours. It doesn't matter how you choose to do that. It really just matters that you have boundaries that you stick to, so that when you're home and your spouse is off and they're like, hey, do you want to come watch Netflix with me in the middle of the day? You have that ability to treat your business like a business and know where you have to show up and for what, right? When you treat your business like a hobby, you're saying yes to all of these things and all of these people that aren't moving your business forward. And then you're like, I'm so depleted. Why am I saying yes to everyone, right? Why can't I get the results I want? Because you are not treating your business like a viable business. And here's a secret to that. Once you start doing that, the other people in your life will start doing that, right? If you're always saying yes to everybody and they're like, God, she has so much time. This is so awesome. I love hanging out with her during the day or whatever. They're not treating your business like a business either, because you're not setting that precedent, right? If you show up and treat your business like a business, magically, the people, clients, family, friends around you will start doing the same, right? So how can you be the leader of that, right? How can you start treating your business like a business? Barb says, I do the same. I break my day down hour by hour, and it doesn't have to be business work, but I have to put in a certain amount of hours for work. No has become my new favorite sentence. Yeah, no is a complete sentence, right? I think that's so smart, and it's just about figuring out what works for you, same as it is about figuring out what's more important to you. Do you need all the freedom, or do you want to hit your income goals, your impact goals, right? It doesn't matter. Just like it doesn't matter if you have structured work hours, certain amount of work hours, whatever the boundary is for you is not important. What's important is that you're willing to show up for the things that you say are important to you, right? So if I say work hours are important to me, I have to be willing to treat my business like a business and show up for that, right? All right, so the last thing I'll say too is structures. So I feel like this industry is a little split sometimes, where it's like no structure, only do inspired action 24/7 all day, every day, or all the structure, do nothing that feels good, follow someone else's cookie cutter plan, and this is how you grow a business. And what I would say is that if you can find a middle ground where you can listen to inspired action, where you can do things that feel good, but also create structure, that is actually how you create more time and more freedom in your business. So if you're someone that we mentioned at the beginning who left their 9-to-5 because freedom is like the number one priority in your life, no matter what, you're probably somewhat averse to structure, right? Because there's a place that feels like structure takes away your freedom, right? But the thing is that structure ultimately gives you more time and freedom. So yesterday, I think you guys probably saw that post I wrote last night about like, why am I lucky, right? Because we're talking about it in Think and Grow Rich, being lucky. And one of the reasons I said I was so lucky is because most of the things I get to do in my business are just really fun. How did that happen though? Well, one, doing the things that weren't fun from the beginning, and two, putting structures around those things so that now I have more time and freedom to show up and do the fun things, do what I want. I had time yesterday to go run around for a few hours and come back and work, whatever it is, right? But think about if structures feel weird to you right now because of freedom, think about how in the end they can buy you more time and freedom. And it's sort of the thing about delayed gratification, right? Are you willing to delay gratification of some of the bigger results, some of the time freedom, by putting in the work now to create the structures, to hire the team, to make the income to hire the team, right? So that long term in your business, you do have that time freedom because you set up the structure in the beginning by treating your business like a business, right? So by hiring the team, by creating the systems, by creating the procedures, right? Most people that are entrepreneurs want to be entrepreneurs for a long time to come, right? They're not just trying to like be an entrepreneur for a year and then go back to work. And here's the thing, if you're not treating your business like a business, that's ultimately what can happen, right? Because you're not setting up the structures, you're not being consistent, you're not making impact and income equal. Stop. My dog is going crazy. So here's the thing, like if you know that you want this to be a long-term sustainable business, if you know you want to create results in your business, you have to add the structure in. There is no business owner out there that does not have structure, or no business owner that is super successful out there that doesn't have structure. They may have a lot of fun and inspired action added into that, right? And that would totally be the goal, the recommendation, all of those things, right? But structure exists because it gives them the time and freedom to take inspired action, to have a freedom-based business, right? So I really want you to think about not only how can I treat my business like a business, how can I be more consistent, how can I sell like it is a business, how can I create boundaries like it's a business, how can I create structures like it's a real business, but what's the most important thing to me in my business? What are my priorities, right? Most people have income as a priority and then don't kind of claim having income as a priority, right? Now, what you don't want to be in a position of is having like really competing priorities. I think that's what happens a lot with like the freedom and income thing. My competing priorities might be I want to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and also I want to make $200K this year. Honestly, out of the gate, it's probably just not going to happen, right? I'm not saying there's not a unicorn that it could happen to, certainly. And I mean, I would say for the most part, I do what I want in my business, right? But it just hasn't always looked like that. But it did look like that very quickly once I set up structures and systems and consistency, etc. So figure out like what is the number one priority for you in your business? And then how are you treating your business like a business around that priority, right? So today, I would love for you to look at the consistency. Are you treating impact and income as equal? Are you selling, and showing up and making that income? Are you creating boundaries with your clients, with your time, with your hours? And are you setting up structures that give you more time and more freedom, right? And really, like, what's the most important thing to you in your business? For me, I know that it is growing my income so that I can grow my impact and get out my message, get out my mission, because I know that this is the work I'm supposed to be doing, right? If for you it's spending more time with your family, well, then your priorities in your business might look different than mine, but there is still a way for you to treat your business like a business, getting the results that you want, right? And if you're someone that has a really hard time with this and you don't know a lot about business and you don't really know how to treat your business like a business, you got to get support around that, right? I think a lot of people hear this and they think, well, all of that would be nice if I could do that. Well, you got to find someone that can support you in creating that, because it truly is the way that you're going to build the income, the successful business that you want to build, is by claiming and treating it like a business. So if you're not sure how to do that, I could not recommend enough getting support around that. Or even just doing the tough work of sitting with yourself and asking these questions that we went through today, right? Am I treating my business like a business in these areas, and how can that look different? And then where do I need support around that to make that happen, right? So I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I would love to hear your take. What is your priority in your business? Are you showing up and living into that priority? Let me know in the comments. What questions do you have? And then I just want to share one thing with you guys, which is that I'm actually going to open up 2 spots for intensives for the rest of the month. So I don't have any more one-on-one slots for long-term one-on-one for this month. I'll probably open more in like January, February-ish. But I do have 2 spots for intensives this month. And the reason I'm doing that is really for this reason, right? Because I think this is a time of year where we really fall off that wagon sometimes, or we stop treating our business like a business, or we don't get the support we need, we don't make the investments we need, we don't set up the structures we need. And this is a time where like things can start to fall apart, right? Like I'm not treating my business like a business. And so around this time of year, I stop showing up, I stop selling, and everything kind of falls apart. And I want to make sure that I'm supporting you in not having that happen, and also that kickstart that you need to start the new year on a good note. So if you are interested in the intensives, I do 2 different kinds. One is called Value-Centered Sales, where we go through your entire sales process, start to finish. So starting, getting, and keeping the sale. Design that for you, make sure you're hitting your goals around that. And then the other is Value-Centered Content Marketing. So you guys know that I'm the content queen, that I love helping you create and set up not only great content in your business, but a plan to do that consistently, and then to market it, right? So not just what kind of content are you creating, but like where are we putting it and how is that growing your income and impact, right? So if you're interested in either of those, just send me a PM. We can talk about it. You can see them on my website at www.alituplife.com. And I'm so excited to do 2 of those this month and really just dive in with you and make sure that you're treating your business like a business, no matter what time of year it is, and that you are creating a business that is centered around your priorities and your goals. So if you have any questions about that, you can comment below too. Otherwise, share with me, how are you treating your business like a business? Where do you want to step up more? Where do you have questions around that? And I will answer them below. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.